Night live. So it's been a day. I didn't really forget, but I kind of had my days mixed up a little bit, thinking that we were doing this for tomorrow. So it's Wednesday night. I'm trying to keep my promise and stay consistent. So here we are. The topic for tonight is let's talk about deficiencies. So what I want to do is just kind of begin the conversation because there's so many things in the comment section. There's so many things and questions that people have regarding vitamin D deficiency. Then there's a lot of people that get vitamin D deficiency. They don't know where to begin. They don't know what's going on with their bodies. So the first thing I wanted to do was start out with let's talk about deficiencies. So what is a deficiency? When you go to the doctor, you get a diagnosis and they say, hey, you're deficient in vitamin D or you're iron, you're anemic or whatever have you. What is a deficiency? A deficiency is a lack of some sort within your body, something that you need that you do not have. It's as simple as that. One of the things that I want to do going forward is kind of simplify this whole thing for us with vitamin D deficiency, especially because when I first was diagnosed with vitamin D deficiency, I was scared. I was like, what the heck is this? I never even heard of vitamin D deficiency. I really wasn't even thinking about deficiencies, so to speak, at all. And looking back, in hindsight, when I was diagnosed with vitamin D deficiency, I also had a few other deficiencies. I had magnesium deficiency, my potassium levels were thrown off, and I was anemic. I didn't know any of those things were happening. So the very first thing is, what is a deficiency? It's a simple lack of something in your body. So that's the first thing that I want you guys to think about with this whole vitamin D deficiency. It's just something that your body's lacking. What do we need to do? We need to provide our body with what it needs. Oh, no problem. Thank you so much for your comments and for tuning in tonight. I didn't know if anyone was going to be on, but I just wanted to stick to what I said I was going to do. And there's something I've been wanting to share with you guys, which is I'm vitamin D deficient again. So here we are together this time. The biggest difference this time with my being vitamin D deficient is I have the tools. I know why I'm deficient. I know I wasn't doing my job as far as taking my vitamin D. I thought I was getting enough sunshine this summer, and I wasn't. I was indoors more than I guess I thought I was. But the main component is that I was not ingesting enough vitamin D. I wasn't taking the supplements. Sometimes when you heal up from something, you kind of think, okay, I'm good. This is my dog bothering me. But sometimes when you heal up from something, you're like, okay, cool, I'm good, I got it, great. But we can fall off track. So I fell off, I slipped, I fell off, and here we are again. So right now my levels are a 17. I went to my doctor a few weeks ago and just randomly asked them, could you check my vitamin D while I'm here? I have been feeling some bone pain, my back. I have lupus and I don't go outside that much, so I stay right. There's different things. Stop it. Oh, my dog, my dog wants to get up. Come on. So this is so hood. But yeah, so there's a few things that could cause deficiency. We don't go outside enough. Some of my friends dress a certain way. Maybe they have religious requirements and they dress a certain way, or they just dress for comfort. I know some kids, I see them with sweatshirts on in the summertime. So there's numerous things that could cause us to become deficient. The area I live in, most of the people in this area, they're just going to be deficient. That's just that. It's a cloudy area. I live in upstate New York, directly near Canada. I can look right over there and see the Canadian side. And so it's just a lot of clouds here, and that is just what it is. Hey, New Jersey, same in New Jersey. I used to live downstate. I used to live in Manhattan. I lived in Brooklyn. And believe it or not, you guys get a lot more sun. I love, love, love New Jersey. I have a ton of family in New Jersey, Glassboro, New Jersey, shout out. And so that's what causes it. But the main thing I want us to start off with together, and this might sound weird, but I don't want to say I'm glad I'm deficient again, But I think I had gotten so far from it that I really couldn't answer your questions anymore because I was so far removed from it. But I'm in the throes of it now. I'm in the jitters, the back pain, the anxiousness for no freaking reason. Yeah, driving to work and I'm fine 1 second and then it's like, oh my gosh, what is that pain? Why am I starting to feel jittery like I just drank a cup of coffee? So I kind of had an inkling like, am I deficient again? But it was still, summer's just ending, so I just knew because I was outdoors a lot more. But here we are, so deficiency, a lack. Period in the story. We don't have something in our bodies, so we are deficient. What do we do about that? We have to address it. We know that I don't want to, seem, like it's ignorant or whatever, but that's just what it is. We have to address it. When I'm driving to work now versus before, I used to get super nervous and oh my God, what's happening to me? Now I know, okay, my back pain is my body telling me, hey, you have something to address. My shakiness, my anemia. Did you ever get side effects taken? I did. So I'm going to talk about that. I did get some side effects, I think, from the first time. But yeah, so when I'm driving to work, my back is hurting. I have to tell myself now, you're deficient. You're having bone pain. When I'm asleep at night, my legs are bothering me. Um, your iron is probably low. So these are the internal conversations I'm having with myself now that I know more about my body. So when you're experiencing these pains, and vitamin D can really be, I never would have thought that it could hurt that bad or be that, sorry for squinting guys, but the light is like right here. So I never thought it could hurt that bad, but it can really jack you up and it can take you out of the game for a few months. And so that's just your body speaking to you, giving you the nudge that you need to do something about it. Some of your questions and most of the comments are about the different side effects. Yeah, the worst part is definitely the waiting game. This is a long game, not a short one. This is a marathon, not a sprint. Someone told me that when I first was vitamin D deficient, and one of my friends, she said, you're going to be dealing with this for like a whole year before you recover. And I was like, I rebuke what you said because I will not be dealing with this a year. But I ended up dealing with it actually longer because I was learning about the deficiency and everything else that was happening to my body. And I just didn't know what was going on. I was going to doctors and different people say different things. Some would just blow it off like, oh, you tripping. And I'm like, no, something is really going on. So it took me a while to find out what was going on. Now, once I found out what was happening, once I found out about the deficiency, which I want to say shout out to YouTube because that's really how I found out by another YouTuber's video that a friend sent me like, hey, this sounds like everything that's happening to you. And then I made my doctor check and I was vitamin D deficient. Once I started addressing the deficiency and taking my vitamin D, which at the time was 50,000 IU of vitamin D2 they gave me. It wasn't D3. It took a few months, let's say 8 to 12 weeks. Thank you so much, Denise. Thank you for all your comments because I feel like now that I know and I know how scary it was for me when I started, I really want to help other people. I don't want you guys at home scared. I get a lot of comments. I watch your videos and it helps get me through. And like sometimes, guys, those comments really get me through. So I really want you to know I truly appreciate each and every one of you who's watching tonight. All 4 of you, shout out to you. And for everyone that leaves a comment or a message. Another thing I learned is that it's a certain way that they are supposed to test the vitamin D. I'm not fully sure exactly how they test it. I know that there's a few different ways that they do test the vitamin D. At this point, I'm not a doctor. I'm just concerned with making sure that they do test me. And once I get those numbers back, take a look at how deficient I am and then just try to go from there. Right now, I'm taking over-the-counter vitamin D. Just a simple vitamin D that I purchased from a vitamin store. I started off with 2,000 IU when I kind of thought I was deficient, which is why I asked my doctor, am I deficient? And to do the test. Once I got my levels back and saw I was at a 17, I know that 2,000 is not going to get my levels up fast because that's a maintenance dose. So what I'm taking right now is a simple 5,000 IU. I purchased it online at Amazon. I'll make a video and show you guys all the vitamins I'm taking. And I just recently purchased another batch of vitamins and things that I need for my body. I'm so sorry that my dog is being a baby, a brat. But yeah, so I'm taking 5,000 IU over the counter. They have Facebook groups too. Yeah, Facebook, Instagram, all of these things. Utilize the tools and resources because there's more knowledge about it now. But 6 years ago, it was like, what's going on? What's happening to me? So yeah, you guys are kind of in a better place right now because there are more videos like mine and other people who are talking about the deficiency and yeah, so definitely do your research. Also, I'm just going to toss this in really quickly. I was reading an article on John Hopkins' website in regards to different deficiencies. I will get the website and post it up. I think that it's really good to look at just to kind of give an overview on deficiencies and some of the symptoms that they can cause. And then also right now I'm learning about more connections because what's going on with my body with vitamin D is more, I'm also anemic, and then I also have fibroids. So these are things I want to talk about on the channel now because there's a correlation between all three. So a few years ago when I was speaking about stress and trying to, establish a sense of harmony within our bodies, and I kind of had an inkling that the vitamin D was bigger than what it was. Now I'm learning that it really is. There's a link with vitamin D deficiency and anxiety, vitamin D deficiency and depression. During this whole COVID thing, there was studies going on that was stating that more of the people that were experiencing more severe, oh, I forgot you can't say that word on here. Yeah, with the Rona, that there was a connection between those deficient in vitamin D and those that were doing really bad or worse with the virus. Also, now that I'm in the throes of this whole thing with fibroids, I've learned that there is a huge connection between fibroids and vitamin D deficiency, and most women with fibroids also have suffered a long period of time with vitamin D deficiency. So these things are these things are not only interesting to me, they gave me a sense of calm because I kind of knew that things were connected. I just didn't know how they were connected. So one of the reasons that I'm back now is because I have more information and I've been through it, I've healed from it, and I'm back in it, but without all of the fear. And I think that when we experience things that we don't understand, it's easy to become fear-based. And I know that I was nervous as heck when I went through. I mean, it was bad. I was really scared. I didn't know what it was. I just didn't know. And so I think a lot of you may feel that way, and I don't want you to feel that way. It's 6 years later, I'm still here. And yeah, I have it again, but it's just not that bad. I'm in a lot of pain, don't get it twisted, and shakiness and all those symptoms, but I'm still here, and so I don't, yes, I was bedridden for it can be that bad. So I've been debating on if I want to share some things for a long time. I didn't want to put up a lot of the footage that I had at the time, like in the hospital. I was in the hospital for a week trying to figure things out because I didn't want to scare people. And we could easily lean over into that. But I think now I can go back and, look back and see and share some of those things. So, for those of you that are experiencing that, my prayers are with you. You're going to be fine. Just know that it takes a little while, and do the work each day to just try to get better. Give yourself, give your body some grace, some peace, and a whole lot of love, as much as you can. How long did it take for you? So that's what I was saying. The first year that I was diagnosed with it took me a long time because, well, I wasn't diagnosed yet. So to figure out, I didn't know what the heck was happening. So I felt like trash for some months. Then when I found out what was happening, I still didn't just say, okay, this is what it is, let me take the pills. I still was kind of figuring it out. When I did start taking the vitamin D, I remember I was I thought I was having a reaction to it. I was feeling shaky, I was feeling nervous, and I was like, "Oh, I'm not taking this." But in hindsight, I think it was my body responding to the therapy of taking the vitamin D. I noticed that once I got rigid and just said, I'm just going to have to experience whatever symptoms that I'm having, but I'm going to stick to it until I see some improvement. That's when I think I kind of turned the corner. And I will say, being regimented, it probably took me maybe 3 months, maybe four. I can't fully remember. But what I do remember is after about the first 2 to 3 weeks, I felt a difference. And I was like, maybe this is working. So I stuck with it. And then there's my back isn't hurting today. Or, I kind of ran up those stairs a little faster. Yes, that was me. Once I started taking vitamin D, I would get anxiety, so I stopped. Sometimes we get these feelings and we don't want to deal with them. I'm that way. I hate taking pills. I don't like feeling anxious and jittery. And sometimes my response is no. So if I take something and I'm feeling away, I'm like, oh, absolutely not. And I just think that that's not just a fear mechanism, it's a safety mechanism. If you take something and you feel like trash, are you going to want to take it again? But once I turned the corner and started taking it faithfully every day, or almost every day, and writing it down, and I started checking off on a calendar, okay, I took it today, I didn't take it. After a few weeks, I did feel a difference. And then after a few more weeks, I would notice, oh, I don't feel as in pain. And then after a few weeks, you start to forget different, things. It's almost like you hurt your finger and it hurts so bad the first day. A week later, it still hurts. A few weeks later, you kind of forget about it. One day you're like, oh, I forgot. So it's kind of like that. So I would just say a few months, but I'm not going to say that you're going to be in pain that long. I wasn't in pain that long once I discovered, that I needed to take it. One thing I do want to touch on with some of the symptoms and side effects, because I get a lot of this comment, and I want to address that off the rip. The whole K2 vitamin D thing, okay. I don't take K2. I have not taken the K2 vitamin. I have, but I don't. And I know a lot of people say that you need it, and maybe you do. But that was one thing that gave me a real bad side effect. I noticed that when I was taking the vitamin D and K2 for me personally, at first I lost my appetite. And I was like, I'm just not hungry. And a few days went by like that. And then next, I felt very heavy, like in my chest, and almost like acid reflux, like, oh, I'm not hungry. I feel indigestion or whatever have you. And then I remember my birthday came and we got a cake and I just couldn't eat it. And I'm like, something's wrong. And then one day I just felt like chest pain. So I stopped taking everything. I went to my cardiologist and she did some tests, and she's like, basically my blood was kind of, thickening. And so you have to try to learn some of the things about, different side effects that vitamins and medicine, anything that you're taking, which is why you guys are here and online. But that was my experience. So whenever I get the whole take the K2, comment, I don't take it. My cardiologist told me to immediately stop taking it, and that my body had more than enough of it because it's made naturally, and that I should not be taking it. So I say that because I don't want you guys online just, in the comments like, wait, second guessing yourself. If you try something and it's not working for you, I'm going to beat you up. Stop. If you're online and you're taking something and it's not working for you, I would stop too. Listen to your body, but also, know that we do have to do something to heal. So hopefully that made sense. But I don't take K2. That's the reason why it was making my blood too thick, which was causing problems, which is why I didn't have an appetite, so on and so forth. I wanted to address that because I get that comment all the time. But yeah, it's 20 minutes. So going forward, I do want to do this every Wednesday night around 7:30. You guys can pick a good time and let me know in the comments what's a better time, 7:30. And yeah, so just to recap, vitamin D deficiency, it sounds so sweet and innocent. It can make you feel like absolute trash. Yeah. Said I was thinking the same with K2. Yeah, you just can't go by every single thing everyone is saying on here because people will say all type of stuff. Your body is different from my body. We're different from each other, which is why you need to also go to the doctor. I am not a doctor, don't want to be a doctor, and this is just me telling you guys from my personal experience, and maybe you can find some similarities in it. Maybe you can glean something from what I've been through, but overall, thank you for doing this. Oh, thank you so much. My mom is constantly saying, go to the hospital. She doesn't understand. I went. Well, the hospital's going to send you home. The hospital wants to know one thing. It does have to run its course. The hospital wants to know one thing. Are you dying? And if they see you're not dying, they're going to send you home. What you need is your general practitioner. You need a regular doctor. We live in America. I know that stuff can be one way or another. Do not be ashamed. If you have to go get whatever type of health care that you need to go and get that. If you can go to a clinic, if you can go wherever, you need to do those things for yourself and for your body. So yes, use the internet as a tool to learn, to find out information, to connect with likewise or like-minded people, that are going through what you're going through. But in real life, get you a doctor. Get someone that can do the work on the other end. I can feel this all day. I can go online and Google and search, but I need a doctor to be able to put that prescription in or to be able to run the test that I need ran so I can truly see what's going on within my body. It takes months. It does take months to heal, Denise. I learned that the hard way. I didn't want to listen, but it does. But I did heal and I felt so much better. And so right now I don't feel too much like trash, but I'm on the trash path, you know. So right now it's about to get noisy in my house. So I just wanted to make sure to come on and do that. It is. So, yeah, I thank each and every one of you who stopped in today, who dropped by today, who left a comment, who said something. Hopefully I addressed them. I'm going to go to the playback and look at everything that you said, and I will also address it there. If you have any questions or stuff that you want to ask me, make sure to leave it in the comment section. If this video helped you, make sure to leave me a like or a thumbs up so that I'll be able to do more videos like this. All right, so I love you all. I hope that you have an amazing night, and I will see you on the flip side. And get some rest and just be easy. All right, take care, and I'll see you guys very, very soon.